Hey everyone, welcome to day 26. Acts of kindness. Kindness, the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. Kindness. Kindness in words creates confidence. Kindness in thinking creates profoundness. Kindness in giving creates love. If we go straight to our truth, our soul is kindness. Our soul is love. Our soul is joy. And when we are in that act of kindness, that's kindness for body, mind, and soul, all in one. The physical, the mind, and the spirit. Kindness can change energy in an instant. Kindness is infectious. It spreads. And the act of kindness can ripple around the world in what we would deem as a very short space of time. Remember, the soul is energy, it's light, so it travels the speed of light. That kindness, that moves waves. And kindness can only come without thought, because it is the soul. It's received in so many ways. Kindness is healing. Kindness changes your life. And kindness can be done with every single person that you meet on your journey. It's effortless. Remember, it's the soul. It's effortless in energy, but in return, you get a lot back. It almost defies the law. What you put out comes back. You just put out you, it comes straight back in abundance. It's magnified. So let me share a personal story of an act of kindness. Something that I will be forever grateful for. I feel blessed. My prayers were answered. So I've been out in Arizona for over 3 months. And I still yet was to get a car. And to give the context, the size of Arizona, the state within America, Arizona state is bigger than the United Kingdom. It's huge. Arizona has part of the Grand Canyon within it. So for what we know about the Grand Canyon, that's a pretty big space on its own. It's been magical since I've been there, but I've yet to have a car. So I've been walking all over. However, for somewhere that takes 10 minutes to drive to, would take you 2 hours walking. So unless I'm paying for taxis all the time, I've been limited in the places where I could have chose to go to. There's my reasons for being here. So I have been hibernating, I've been working. And I've been okay with being where I am. However, I prayed for a car. I said, now it's time to start exploring, starting to really focus on what my purpose is, what my mission is. And I know I'm in the right place. Next chapter. 2 days later, I received a review on Trustpilot. Someone sent a review. It said, please give me a call back. Just watched your podcast. And make sure that you mention the Soul Coach. There's a random one, but I searched who he was. And he was general manager of a Honda garage in Arizona. You can imagine straight away where my mind went, where my soul went. It got excited. It was like, first thing, dismissed it with my words, no way. And then I quickly caught myself, and oh, yes way. Yeah, no, this is it. What you put out comes back. And I felt like a little kid. It was exciting. Still yet to get in contact with him. I tried a few times. The receptionist thought I was going crazy. So in the end, because it felt right, I found his address. I emailed him. Received the email back the next day. Had a phone call. He just said, look, I love what you're about. He said, I've never messed as a truther before. Never. I just like what you had to say. I resonated with it. And I'm in Arizona too, so it'd be great to meet up. And whilst we're out here, there's a golf tournament. I'm not the biggest golf fan, but it's a golf tournament in Arizona, which is a big deal. It was like a party scene. Well, this guy who we connected with on the phone straight away said he wanted to help. He's invited me to the golf, and I've got to meet him in person, and we just clicked. Everything that I view in life, and just the way of being open in a discussion, like a real conversation. You listen, give and receive. I got all that from this guy. I'd never met him before. And he's now got me a car. Phoned me up and he said, I've sorted you out a car, a vehicle. I've literally just met him. And that was such a powerful act of kindness right there. And it's hard for me to put into words to tell him how much I feel grateful and how happy I am. Like, it's a life changer for me. So the few days now I've been driving around Arizona, and already just this feeling of freedom and just constant gratitude. And what he said is, you were real, you were authentic. So what I put out, it come back. And now that act of kindness, that will go round the world. And it's a moment in my life where I will remember, a defining point in my life. That's how powerful the acts of kindness are. So Wayne Dyer, on one of the first days, we shared one of the videos of him. And I remember when I was in a low place, Wayne Dyer used to be my soul coach, soulful voice. And whatever you typed on YouTube, Wayne Dyer stress, Wayne Dyer anxiety, Wayne Dyer health, there was always a little clip for it. And then I decided to get his book and listen to Audible. And I used to just listen to Wayne Dyer every night before I went to bed. Whatever went on in my day, whatever I held on to, Wayne Dyer would help me let it go. And he shared a story, acts of kindness. And the right teacher comes around at the right time. And this stuck with me. I remember still today, as I'm about to share this story, where I was in my car listening to this. It was a full soul slap, a soul truth. And I felt it. So he said his daughter was at the train station about to go on a trip to work, and she queued up to buy a ticket. And the cashier behind the counter said, "Oh, no need to pay today. The guy before has bought your ticket." She went, "What do you mean?" Well, he said, "The next person that comes today, let them know that the ticket has already been covered and to have an amazing day." And when she received it, it was just, what? Didn't know who he was, but some stranger had done something kind. So whatever flow she was in, whatever automated zone she was in going to work, that completely got a present. That snapped her out of it, out of that sleepy state. Act of kindness. So straight away, she phones her dad. And she tells him about this story. She then tells her friend, who lives all the other side of America. Said, "You never guess what? This happened today." And it made me feel amazing. What a great idea. The friend over the other side of America said, "Oh, I love that. I'm going to do that today. Actually, I'm going to do an act of kindness." So she's in the supermarket, trolley loaded up at the cashier now, waiting to pay. And then there's a family behind her, not many things in the basket. A young boy, mum, dad, looked a bit miserable, a bit sad. And she thought, right, let me do an act of kindness. "Excuse me, you haven't got much on you. Do you want to come in front of me?" "You go. I've got loads to go. So you go first." And the woman just stopped and she just stared at her straight in the eyes. And she said, "We've just moved here. We've been here for a few months. And we haven't liked it. We felt like it was the wrong thing that we've done." And she said, "I prayed today. I prayed and said, God, we're not sure if we're in the right place. Please, can you give me a sign?" And she negotiated with herself. If no signs come to that day, they were going to go back. They made a mistake. So she stopped and looked her in the eyes and she said, "Wow, thank you so much." She told her story. "I prayed and asked for a sign. This is the kindest thing that anyone's done to us, for us, since we've been here. It's been a nightmare. But that was the kindest thing, and that was a sign that I needed, and we're going to stay. We are in the right place." And as I said earlier, kindness is infectious. So the woman behind the cashier who's witnessing this whole thing, she was smiling. She said, "Oh, I felt that. Thank you. That was amazing what you just did." So one act of kindness on one side of the world, that energy transfers and ripples across the entire world. And let's take the person who left that ticket for the next person to come. They didn't know that ripple. They didn't see where that went. They just showed up. And they were that act of kindness. The soul is energy. And when we notice and appreciate the energy, that's instant. Kindness is received in an instant. That is spread around. You feel the energy in the room. Ignited the soul. Acts of kindness. Just paying attention. Giving someone you fully present. That's an act of kindness. That's a gift. Acts of kindness. So using the train ticket, before I moved out to Brazil, it's the regular trips to the post office. And I remember Wayne Dyer just popped in my head on the way to the post office. I said, I'm going to do that. And said the same thing. Can you make sure the person that comes next, that their items for the day have all been covered? And I left some money, and then I walked off without the need to know. I just walked straight off. I come back the next day, the woman's face behind the counter was so happy to see me. She said, "You should have seen the person who had it." She almost broke down. She was so happy. And you can imagine that energy. Imagine that memory. Imagine the conversations where it take place from that. From something so small, kindness, but it's so big. Acts of kindness. So if you are the soul, and your truth is your truth, and it doesn't matter what anyone else says to you, you are the controller of your feelings. That is a knowing now. And the people that we meet and stumble across in our life that are coming from a negative place, that are coming from a place of fear, that can throw it our way. Imagine allowing that energy just to pass straight through, no reaction, and meet them back with kindness. Meet them back with your presence. And become the observer. Because the soul has nothing to do with time. Nothing at all. So at that time, that kindness maybe not received as how you anticipated. That kindness was received from the soul. Their ego, they don't want to show it. They'll put a face on. They'll man up a bit. Their soul felt it. And when they get any time alone in the shower, driving the car, on a treadmill, their soul would let them know. Remember what that person did for you? How nice is that? It's so powerful. And it requires, I'm going to say, no effort. It's just the awareness. That's all it requires. And then with that awareness, right, kindness, then you can get the mind involved. How can I be creative with this? Listen out within conversations. Notice what people say. Pay attention to what their likes are. Because that notice and appreciate, then you follow with kindness. I noticed you were a football fan. And I saw that you supported this team. I managed to get an autograph, but the player just happened randomly to be walking past me. I thought of you, so I got the autograph. Imagine how that's received. So what would have took place then? Just the intention of the act of kindness. Set that intention each day. And when that time comes, there'll be a moment where you just know, oh, this is it. The act of kindness. So there's actions to acts of kindness. And then there's just being kindness. So closing your eyes. Acts of kindness. Kindness, give and receive. So bring your attention to your heart center. It's time to connect to your soul. Just one breath. Think of a moment when you've received an act of kindness. Stay with that feeling. Bring awareness to that feeling. And what's your reactions when you receive an act of kindness? That surprise, that shock factor, that happiness, that overwhelming amount of joy. Notice that energy. A kind soul. A kind self. Kindness to yourself. You always have the choice to be kind to yourself. From your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Kindness to your mind which means kindness to the body. Because when the body's calm, it means the mind is still, which means the mind gets to create, which is kindness for the body, the mind, and the soul. Bring your attention to your hands, the palm of your hands. Notice that energy in the hands. The kindness in your hands. I am kindness.